Hi, I'm Stanley Brown, owner of Robust Wine Bar here in Webster Groves, Missouri. Today we have Jeanne-Marie from Burgundy with us. We are hosting a wine dinner this evening. We are featuring these four wines here, two white Burgundies, two red Burgundies. I'm going to have Jeanne-Marie kind of walk through these wines just a little bit about the producer and about the wine itself. So Jeanne-Marie, welcome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming to St. Louis.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
Good. First wine we have Jeanne-Marie.
Bourgogne Haute Côte de Nuit, which is a single vineyard Clos Saint-Philibert monopole from Méo-Camusset 2007. So it's a Chardonnay 95% with 5% Pinot Blanc. This vineyard is high in altitude on a stony vineyard up to Vaune-Romanée. It's unpicked, aged in barrel for 12 months, 14 months, and then bottled. I will say if you love nice, crispy wines with a good level of acidity, that's the perfect wine. It is working with oyster, but it's also working with whitefish and some charcuterie sometimes. Yeah, it's
great wine.
Yes,
we're starting that wine off with an artichoke soup, so it's a great way to start the evening off. Then we're going to switch into this Meursault.
Yes.
You can tell us a little about
Jean-Michel Gonneau. He's a very famous grower in Meursault. He owns Meursault and Pommard. It's a very you have many Gonneaus, and it's important to know Jean-Michel, because it's a name, you know, it's like the Smith in the United States. Wow, you know, it's so the Meursault 2007 is a vintage from growers, which is you had to be a good farmer to succeed. Because the weather was not so nice for a small town, but in the meantime, at the end in September, thanks Mother Nature, we had a nice wind, we had a nice concentration, everything came well. So this Meursault is an association of little different vineyards, and it has been unpicked, assorted, immediately pressed, classical alcoholic fermentation in barrel and malolactic in barrel. It's bottled after 14 months. So it's crispy with some fatness, and in aging you will have a little touch of brioche.
Now with this wine, Meursault being a little bit bigger, we're matching this up with a black garlic snapper. So I'm going to match up with the Meursault here. Then for the reds, we're switching into, this is the second one. Yeah. Marsanne.
Yes, Marsanne is an interesting appellation if you love Burgundy. It's the only village, it's a quiz, only village which has the three colors, white, rosé, and red. It's more on white and red, it's a more recent appellation because it has been born in 1987. Marsanne, it's a single vineyard here, Domaine René Bouvier, Clos du Roi. It's a vineyard which is half slope, some clay, very well placed, so very well ripe. 2006 vintage is also ripe vintage, with a little less acidity than 2007, but very approachable, very round, and I saw you associate with the pork.
Yeah, we matched this wine up with a pork tenderloin that's been encrusted in panko, breadcrumbs, and it has a pumpkin risotto, so a little bigger flavors than just pork, so that helps with mashing it up with a nice Pinot Noir that has some fruit to it. And then lastly, we're switching into
the Alox Corton 2006 from Domaine Râpé. Very famous domain. Vincent took over his father's estate, which was already well known. And while Alox Corton is known for the second part of his name, which is Corton Grand Cru with his Corton Charlemagne and the Corton Red. So you just have on the slope Corton Charlemagne, you go a little down, you have some other Corton, and then you arrive in the Alox Corton appellation, which is a little more clay, a little more iron, bigger wine, kind of peppery wine. And Domaine Râpé use 25% new oak for 1 year. to get the
This wine,
fruit.
although it's a little bit on the masculine side, it has some elegance to it as well.
Yes, that's because he tried not to over-extract, he just tried to get the balance of those things. The skin was good, but not too strong. So it just extracts smoothly with not too much acidity, which is natural. Of course, all these ones are native yeast and go 100% through malolactic.
So what we did with this wine is we're just finishing the evening off with this wine. We mashed it up with a nice cheese tour, bringing out the strong flavors of the cheese was mashed up nicely.
And it's
with
delicious, I tried.
So that's the lineup for this evening. We appreciate Jeanne-Marie being here in St. Louis. Cheers. Stanley Brown signing out. I love life, I love wine, and thirsty for more. Cheers.
Cheers.